Like, damn, what?
I don't know if it was like a big thing for you guys when you started, but I know when I started, people would tell me like, "Oh, you have to make yourself like 18 and up because you're cussing too much," even though like I don't. Like at the time, I wasn't being like as lewd as I am now. Like I just would cuss. But the downside to that is if you mark your account as 18 and up and not safe for kids, it like fucks with the way the Twitch algorithm like pushes you out. You're no longer like pushed out as much as like a safe for work person who isn't marked as 18 and up. Then there's the issue of a bunch of big streamers. They don't mark themselves as 18 and up, but they were still playing like 18 and up games on stream.
I see.
Like they would playing a Cyberpunk, but they would get away with it because they were so big.
I see.
But then the little ones weren't.
Yeah. So they wouldn't really mark their streams as the proper guideline so that they would get more into the kind of kick of the algorithm, right? So that Twitch would push their content more on the front page.
I think it's funny that you bring that up because when I started out, I was one of those bitches. because okay, originally when I first started out, I as you know, like I told you, I only did art, and I wasn't I wasn't anywhere lewd. I never said anything. I didn't even do booba jokes like at all. And when I would cuss and stuff like that, I think it was due to like cussing, because I know I sometimes curse like a sailor. The people who were constantly coming into my streams would tell me, Div, I think you should start making your content 18 plus. I did. And then I noticed I'm not getting seen as much as other people. And I was like, and I would go to the category of art and I'm like, why is mine not even on here? And I'm doing it right now as I see it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm noticing that this guy doesn't have 18 plus, or this person doesn't have 18 plus. And so I took it off. And this was like a year before I like met you guys. I took it off, and I just made sure I didn't say anything adult like, so that I could be seen and stuff like that. And then when I like met you guys, and like I feel like my more like I guess like matureness like started coming out again, and I was like cussing and stuff like that. People were telling me, okay, Div, I think you should be making this 18 plus. Like you got to do it. And like my mod at the time was the one who went in there and he fucking put 18 plus.
Really?
He's like, if you're not doing it, I'm doing it for you. And I'm like, okay, fine.
Not your mod doing it for you.
And so like, I was one of those people, because as sad as it was, I agree with you. It really hides you, and so that means that this comes back to now, because you an indie and you small, you got to push yourself to get those views, to get those follows, and you got to figure out some type of way to play with the algorithm so that you're getting seen in some type of way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I think their fix with that was, so they're pushing people out now. But I think if you're not opted in to see 18 and up stuff, I think they blur it. Like it'll still show you the channel, but the thumbnail is blurred. And like,
I see.
From what I heard, but I'm opted into where I can see that, so nothing's blurred for me. And then
I don't get anything blurred for me.
You like obviously have like, you have to agree like, oh, this stream is like 18 and up. Like, do you agree to the rules? Yada yada yada.
I see.
But I think that's their fix lately.
Yeah. I don't know. I just find it like super rough that like smaller creators that mark their stream as like 18 plus are like getting pushed to the bottom of the algorithm, while Twitch's front page is covered with like oiled up bikinis. Like, oh god, like these bigger creators that do like 18 plus like streams are just like plastered all over the front page. But like anyone, any kind of smaller creator who like even just like doesn't do that, but like just labels their content, it just never gets pushed to the front. It just sucks. It's like whoever's at the top just stays there, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, Twitch, mix the pod a little, man, please. The algorithm for our smaller creators, we're trying our best out here.
It is true. It is true.
Yes.
Yeah, I just it's I think right now we're in a kind of like a space where it's just being on your toes right now, walking on how they say the saying is walking on eggshells, because everybody is getting banned left and right for different things, but wrongfully banned because like there's like literally proof of like, hey, this is why like I'm upset that I'm being banned and I don't think I should. Again, we're not talking about those who technically they say they're wrong, but then when you look at the context, it's wrong. Like, no, we're not talking about that. And so, yeah, I just think that right now, for me, I am like making sure I'm walking on eggshells on certain topics that I feel might lead into me getting banned in the future if I'm not careful.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think kind of like content creation, like back then, the expectations that you had as like what kind of content to put out and what hits the algorithm like years ago is really not the same as it is right now. I feel like it's like vastly different. Like the way social media works to push your content, it's like it's just so different now than it was back then. I don't really know how to put it into words, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's a toughie. We just gotta keep trying different things.
I mean, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like the expectations when I was growing up, watching content creators, is just like a lot of like them doing solo content, but seeing who could do the craziest solo content. And I feel like now that I'm in it, like in 2024, it's like, how many friends do they have, like interchanging out of their content with them? Who are they friends with? What group content are they doing? Like, it feels more about like interactions now with others versus back then. It kind of felt like you were like in your own planet.
Yeah.
And then like every now and then their planet would take a spaceship over to another planet. And now it's not like that. It's like everyone's just, we're just interchanging.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I think like back then, like when was it? Maybe even like 4-ish years ago, 5-ish years ago, everyone's content was just like solo content all the time.
Yeah,
you know, like solo playthroughs, solo streams, or you would just solo queue comp games, etc. But nowadays it's just like all content is with other content creators, you know what I mean? It's like not only like within like us not only like within like us or like what's it called, just like in the VTuber community, but even outside of that, like facecam streamers too. People found out that the fastest way to grow is to collab with others and to share a community and like kind of like make those kind of connections, kind of network in that way. But like 4 or 5 years ago, it was not like that at all. Everyone just did their own thing, right? And like whoever hit the algorithm, whoever hit numbers, they just did it. But nowadays, like, collaborating is such a big thing, right?
Yeah. Well, now talking about hitting algorithm, now it feels like if you somehow hit the algorithm on TikTok and all the bigger people see you, now it's like a passing party. All the bigger ones are passing you around, like, okay, you collab with them next. Yeah. And they're just using you because for whatever reason, you're the new kid in town that the algorithm is just hitting for you. So everyone's like, let me grab their number.
Okay, Ebby, you can use me. Go ahead.
That's crazy.
I would never use you, baby. I'd make love to you. Oh.
You can do both. It's fine. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay, can I say that? Like, I get what you're saying, because now, like, when I think about it, like, today, like, currently, I agree with the whole, like, collabing and everything. But I do want to say, in my perspective at the time, what was really actually worrying me and what I saw like expectation of like content was like, you know, at the time, because I was doing it during I was starting to get into it during like the panorama phase. It was really just me being like how do you say, making connections with people and trying to work with the community and stuff like that, and then to be with when I made my VTuber model, it started to be where, okay, well, how unique is your model and your lore and everything else? And I felt so it was last year where I felt like, with how popular now VTubing is compared to when I started, because there was barely people really coming into the VTubing scene like myself. Like it was going up there, but like myself, we were barely getting out there. So it wasn't, oh, how unique is your model? It was just how do they interact with the community, etc. Like that's how it was for me and the people I ran with. It was, how do you talk with them? How are you good? How do you do with your community? Can you talk with them while you stream, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being where, okay, well, how unique is like your model? Like, does it stand out and everything? And like, I felt so like, I need to just erase all of what I had as a VTuber model, because it's not unique. It's weird. It's all over the place. There's colors everywhere. It looks like a 5-year-old fucking splashed paint on it.
Yeah.
And I needed to come up with like a whole new design. And I'm like, I like thought about all the categories. I'm like, no, people do this, people do that, people do that. No, I can't do these colors. Like, it felt like it was a battle at the time. And that for me, I think was like, not saying that the collab thing isn't still a big thing like right now, but that isn't something that I feel like I battle with, because I'm totally fine doing solo. I think for me, it's like, it was the mere fact that what stressed me out so much was I was going back and forth on making a model that I felt was going to stand out, and is it going to be memorable? And I remember giving you guys, like letting you guys see the art, and I kept changing it multiple times and everything else. And it was like, okay, this bitch is going through some mental issues right now, because they can't settle on one thing. So yeah, like,
but it was like so good seeing all the different versions.
Yeah.
I need to do one of those like like from start to finish themes.
If you still have your concept art, just be like Divie's concept versus my current model.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that for me was the biggest milestone in my, I guess, like VTuber life, and like a chapter, because that for me like really solidified, like, okay, once I make this, that's it. I'm not going back. I'm not making a new one. I'm not doing anything else. If I decide, oh, I want a different outfit because, you know, my fucking mood changed, just do a different outfit and still keep the actual like VTuber and who she is.
Speaking of designs though, for me, I feel like designs are really like, people can tell you all the time like, oh, your design doesn't matter, it's about like the streamer. I feel like that's like being nice, because like in reality, like it does matter to these hoes. Like the way that I've had VTubers that still try to act like they're my friends today, that did not give me the time of day until I got this model. Like back when I was like a 3D VTuber, and then my first like Fiverr 2D like VTuber model, they would not treat me like I was on their level, even if I was only like a couple hundred below them, like followers, not viewers, because I'm not that crazy. But like they would treat me like a viewer, like not even like another VTuber that could collab with them. And whenever I had to ask like, hey, could I like hang out with you, or could we collab or like hang out or do stuff, that like they would not give me the time of day, like at all. But the second that they saw me like post my reveal for this model, they're like, oh, like what is everything, like you're planning for it? And I was like, oh well, I was just gonna like press the go live button and then that'd be it. And they're like, no, that's not a proper debut. You need to do this, start inviting people to it. You need to like set it up to be this time, this day, do more posts about it. Like they wanted to be like my little manager for my debut. And I'm like, this is so funny, because last month you wanted to act like I didn't exist. But now that you see that Ebby got money and Ebby got upgrades, now you want to roll with Ebby.
It's okay, I'll act like you don't exist.
You hear that, Ebby? Fight back. I
don't exist. I don't exist.
Fight them.
I don't exist.
Oh, Jesus.
I love you. No, like on a real note, I get what you mean. That's what I'm talking about. I think when it comes to like a lot of the art topics within VTubing, that is what I think affects me the most, due to like where I think my skill set and what kind of VTuber I am. So I get you on that aspect, where it's like I just felt so ununique, and nobody really like was as open to being like friends and like making content with me than what they are now. Because what I've noticed is now that I've had this VTuber, which no people would say this consistently, ever since I got this new VTuber, it was, oh my god, your VTuber is so cute. Like, not, and it's not just once in that one stream. It's like either multiple times or even off camera, and I'm like, thank you, but I never got it before.
When, like, you watch like a fat person lose weight and become skinny, suddenly the world opens up for them, and like everyone's super nice to them, and they're like,
pretty privilege.
Yes, you instantly get pretty privilege. The amount of VTubers I've watched blown up on Twitter or TikTok because they have a really, really pretty model, but they don't have like that charisma and the talent of a VTuber that's been doing it for several years, and you'll watch them slowly die off, and then they can't handle it. Then you watch them burn out, and then they graduate, and then everyone gives them love and attention again because they're like, oh my god, like I'm gonna miss you. And I'm like, girl, you weren't in their chat the past like 6 months. What you mean?
And we're talking about those male VTubers too, because I be seeing some of y'all fucking getting into my fucking rage, my sex rage.
You're what? You're
like,
what?
Shut up, I'm a raging over here.
Tiff wants them.
Hormonal rage.
and the mommy ones, like, you know what I'm talking about. Whew.
Yeah. I agree. I think that like there's a lot of people who, you know, like have super grand debuts where they spend so much money on like lore videos and debut videos and, you know, their model itself, and then once the day comes and they start like streaming, they don't have what it takes to retain those viewers, to retain those followers to their channel, like give them a reason to come back to their stream, right? And they just instantly like plummet in numbers and everything. I'm not saying that numbers are everything. I'm just saying that a lot of people spend a lot of money to get into things, not knowing what they need to make it work. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just rough because they start hitting reality. They start getting into the reality of things of like, oh my god, I just spent like thousands of dollars to do all this thing, and I'm suddenly like not as successful as someone who spent as much money as me. You know what I mean? And it's just rough all around. So I think like there's a lot of things, a lot of research that you have to do in terms of content creation before like thinking of just like, oh, debut and I'll get views. Like, no. That's why there's so many people who say like even before you get like your own custom model or you even have a model in general, just stream, just like find out if you like it, find out if you like enjoy streaming, find out what you want to do with your content, find out how to retain viewers, just like experience it all before you have some kind of grand debut that you spend like thousands of dollars on. That's really the way to go.
Well, on the flip side of that too, there's like, I feel like you can tell because like, okay, so not to give this idea to people, but the algorithm is nice to you if you have a new account because you haven't posted before. So the algorithm wants to see how well you do with everyone. So it'll push you out a little more, and if you get reactions, it's like, okay, this bitch knows what they're doing. Keeps pushing them out. I feel like you can really tell like who came back a second life as another VTuber because they instantly have that like that charisma and that energy, and I'm like, you've been here before. Who were you?
It's been me the whole time. No,
This isn't your first rodeo. You're really working the numbers really, really well.
They be dancing with it.
Yeah.
Can I say though, kind of off the topic, but so talking our whole thing about like adults and VTubing and kind of putting those two together, right? I wanted to bring up because it's in my head. About like I bring this up a lot. So being an adult and creating content, it's so funny because it's so difficult because I think each of us, we are in a different stage of like VTubing, and in the sense that some of us either, or one of us does it as like, this is our job, this is the only job, you know, one of us, myself, does.
Are you talking about us?
Yeah. Like, okay, hold on. I'm leading to somewhere. I swear. Okay. I'm cooking. Let me cook. And like somebody like myself who like, this isn't my job. This is something that I do love to do, and I'm still trying to take it seriously. I will say that like, if you haven't done it and being an adult, it's really hard now getting to see where when I was living on my own and VTubing and how easy that was compared to like me having a job and then not living just by myself, and how it feels having other people in your literal space and trying to create content. It's so hard. And I bring this up, like I said, because it's being an adult and having to also be VTuber. And I think that something that I did want to like mention that was because like people who may be interested or may not know how difficult it is, and why like some of us are in like different moments where when we collab, I don't always collab, and sometimes I take breaks. And I think it's very interesting because there's so many people who like are in the same boat as one of us, where either this is like their job or this is their only means of income, and some of us who where it's like actually it's not really their only means of income. It's kind of like, you know, a hobby or a part-time job or just for fun. And I know that like whenever I'm streaming and stuff, I'm always so nervous about, oh my God, are they going to come in here while I'm streaming? I can only stream from this hour to this hour because I know that I will be free enough that they're not going to come in here and use my Govy name and out me. It's all Jover. I'm going to graduate. I'm going to move to a different country.
What?
Well, I feel like just streaming period as like a VTuber, or even just in general, like streaming, it's so hard if you just live with somebody, point blank period, because like you have to like schedule yourself around them. Like I have been so inconsistent because I have to constantly schedule myself around like my roommate and their schedule. Not that I think that they like care when I do it. I care because the house is very loud when they're around, because like the dogs are like constantly whining because she's home and they want out. Or they have friends over and like, or they're cleaning the house and I can hear the banging. Like I'm just very like, I'm a perfectionist and I'm very anal about like audio. Like I want my audio to always be clean and clear and like never have an issue. And so when I hear like my roommate making noises or the dogs barking, I freak out. Like something inside of me is like, stop. You're being loud as fuck.
And I bring it up because we're talking about like expectations of content creating. I feel like sometimes people have this expectation, like as a content creator, oh, you're going to be streaming on a daily schedule, like it's going to be consistent, it's going to be the same. It really isn't.
Doing that though.
I do. When I have those times of the year where I can't, I miss it because it's like it's my means of relaxing from my everyday life, getting away like even for just that short amount of time in my day, but to just forget about it, be me and not have to worry about pleasing somebody else. And so I think that it just was going hand in hand with that expectation of content creator. Like I originally, when I started out, and I guess this also goes with my journey so far as a VTuber, I started out not having a job at the time and doing this consistently almost every day. I would stream by myself, but I would just get up and I would stream and I'd do whatever. And at the time doing face cam, so that meant if I told myself I want to stream at this time, I have to get ready an hour to an hour and a half before so that I can do makeup, because when I do my makeup, I sit there, I lollygag, I do other things at the same time. And then and then I got to do my hair, and then I got to make sure that I set up my camera, and like I didn't like how the camera looked, so I got to also adjust like filters, use some filters so that I appear as like, my skin is nice and clear and cute. And getting the right angle, getting the right lighting, making sure my background, if my bed was messy, I fucking move that blanket and cover all the shit on my bed. or move my dog shit into like it, not literal dog shit, but like my dog stuff. So that like it was away from the camera, like a whole bunch of things, anything that was personal, anything that revealed anything about me that wasn't my face, move it to the side, like doing all those things. And then leading up to like where, okay, now I finally got a full-time job. Now I don't want to do face cam anymore at some point. Now I want to be a VTuber. I want to hide a lot of things that I say about myself. And I'm still trying to work on that, where I'm like not using my personal life and mixing that into my VTuber life. And now being where, okay, now I kind of want to take it seriously while still having my full-time job, and figuring out how I can work those two things and still be here, etc. And so like I think that thinking the expectation of being a VTuber and that your schedule and your life as a VTuber is going to be consistent every year. It really isn't. It's not easy trying to do this as a full-time job or as a means of income. It's so hard, especially
It's
now
really
that
hard.
there are so many VTubers out there.
So saturated.
yeah, and it's like, and it's one of those things where, as sad as it is, you got to ask yourself, what sets you apart? How are you going to promote that so that people want to come and things like that? And that's so hard, because even when I ask myself that question, like, well, what sets you apart? What makes you special? I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I don't even know,
Yeah,
because
me too.
I could say XYZ, but Jennifer over there got XYZ too.
Yeah.
True.
So yeah,
agree.
anybody else who wants to chime in?
Yeah.
Do you have anything, Lay?
Honestly, Div just took the words out of my mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to touch tips on how we like our journey so far as VTubers?
Yeah, we can.
Do you want to start, Lay?
No.
No. Okay.
You can start.
I can start. Okay, so for my journey so far, and as a VTuber, I feel like it's been like a roller coaster of emotions, because I started as this like bright-eyed doe, like, oh my god, all my dreams are gonna come true. I'm gonna get big enough to be friends with Porter Jade and Lily Pichu, and like those were my end goals. Like, it wasn't to have success and to have a lot of money. It was, I just wanted to be Porter Jade's friend or Lily Pichu's friend. I didn't care about the money. Didn't care about the numbers. I just want to be their friend.
Yeah.
But I feel like that. So like a key moment that like kind of like changed my perspective was when I started VTubing. I didn't know other VTubers, so there was no blueprint for me to follow. I didn't have anyone that I compared myself to. So going live was easy.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, just start, and like 10 people will show up, and I will just talk to those 10 people.
Yeah.
But then I think Iron Mouse was doing their subathon, the subathon that like broke all the rules or all the records.
Yeah.
And someone came into my stream and was like, "Oh, did you hear like Iron Mouse just like beat so and so as like the record for like the longest subathon going?" And I was like, "Who's Iron Mouse?" I was like, "That's an ugly name."
Bruh, what the fuck?
No, that bot isn't out there, so I'm exposing myself. I'm being honest. I don't hate Iron Mouse. I love them. I love hearing them sing.
They the goat
and my
of VTubers.
chat went wild. They're like, "You don't know Iron Mouse?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, like, who are they?" And they're like, "Do you know Mori?" And I was like, "No." Like, "Do you know Gura?" And I was like, "No, who the fuck are these people?" So they had me sit down, started schooling me on who V Shoujo is, who Hololive is, who Ninja Sanji is. And I was like, I don't know these people. Because at the time, the only one I knew was Bao, and it was through Box's video. I was thinking, that bitch is a robot, so that's not even a person.
Bruh.
You're all bots.
So I was like, that's not even a real person, so I can't even compare that person. So that was my like first key moment where like it shifted my world of VTubing, because I was like, ooh, okay. And then I started looking at these VTubers and I'm like, ooh, all their voices like way higher than mine. Like, oh god. And then someone was like, it's okay, just look at Mori. And I looked at Mori and I was like, they sound hot. They sound like a mommy. Like, that's not me. And I was like, I don't fit in. There's not a spot for me here.
No, I agree.
And because like at that time I still wasn't doing like lewd work or like any voice acting or anything like that. I was just playing Valorant or Minecraft. Like, it was just those two games. Or if you guys remember this game, this is a real old one, Valheim.
Valheim. Yeah.
I hated that game.
Oh, what the heck?
Okay, it's not that the game was like necessarily bad. I just wish the graphics were better. And my community at the time, I think I was like averaging like 12 viewers. And they were like, I was playing Valorant and Minecraft, and they're like, "Oh, play Valheim. That's what all the big streamers are playing. You should play Valheim."
Oh god.
Like, okay. But are you sure you guys want to watch that? Because if I switch and like you guys aren't there, because they had already fucked me over one time. They had me play Minecraft from the first time ever, and I went from having like 12 viewers to like 2.
Oh,
when I switched to Minecraft, and I was like, you
What the heck?
bitches voted for this. You said
Yeah.
you wanted it. Where
Yeah.
are you?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, are you guys sure that you're gonna stick around if I play Valheim? Because we did this with Minecraft and you guys disappeared. And they're like, yeah, like we want to watch Valheim. Did it, less viewers of Minecraft.
Oh my god.
Everyone left. I was like, oh. So then
Messed
I'm not listening
up.
to you guys anymore. You guys be setting me up.
No, for real. I feel that. I feel that though.
But I think that was like kind of my start. Does
Mhm.
anyone else want to talk about their start before
I
I
want-
go further?
I want to ask, like, you know, like that was like your start, but like, what about now? Like, how do you feel about like what you've done up until now in terms of streaming?
Oh, I hate the now. I wish I could go back to before. I feel so jaded because like I've seen how nasty and crooked VTubers are, and
Yeah.
Me.
low-key-
I'm
low-key
nasty and
they-
crooked.
I'm the
They do
crooked
some of
one.
the, well, some of these VTubers be like big ass snakes. Like you can never trust them. We're all waiting for you to slip up to like reveal that you're a horrible person.
yeah.
Thankfully, I've never had that happen to me, but
Mm-hmm.
weirdly enough, the people that I avoid, and I'm like, oh, I just get a bad vibe from them, they end up getting exposed, and I'm just in the corner like, hold it. I knew it. I knew it was happening.
Oh,
But
Jesus.
I will say it does make me like scared because I'm like, oh, these people like considered them really close and they exposed them.
Oh yeah.
And well, because we both know this person,
Mhm.
how they make me very cautious because they would come and tell me things and talk about how they would expose somebody to get in better than someone else. And so like
Mhm.
stuff like that does make me paranoid because I'm like, oh, if
Mhm.
you're gonna be friends with someone and then you expose them,
Yeah, you
if
could do
I
that to
trust you with
me.
something- yeah, like you could do that to me. Like if I trust you with like, oh, I just feel a certain way about this, and then you could like spin that and weave it into like, oh, she's a horrible person, she's jealous, yada yada yada. When really it's like, no, I'm just not vibing. Like it's okay for me not to get along with somebody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I think. Oh, sorry. Did you?
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I do think that like nowadays a lot of people in the scene, there's just like a lot of. Okay, listen, I hate to use this word, but like there's just a lot of cloud chasers in the VTuber scene who just like who
Mhm.
don't really want a genuine friendship with you. They just want you for numbers. And I guess that's like a little over my head saying that because I'm so small that would never happen to me right now. but like there's
Mhm.
just like there's a lot of people who do that, and it's kind of scary. Like no matter
Yeah.
what size you are, like people who would just want to befriend you to like what's it called? To just kind of get their own numbers up, and they never want a genuine friendship with you. And the moment you slip up or something wrong happens with you, they are not on your side. They're like, oh, they were always a bad person. I knew it because they did this. And it's just like, what the fuck? I thought we were friends, you know, kind of deal. So it's just it's kind of scary in that sense.
Yeah.
You need to be careful who you
Which
kind of
I
befriend in
think
the
that
scene.
ties a lot into what we talked about earlier about the age stuff. I think it's like a
Mm-hmm.
lack of maturity. Like some of these people, because I was talking to someone recently about this actually too.
Yeah.
I just be talking. But,
Yeah.
I was talking about how I feel like in the VTubing community, there's this issue of people who peaked in high school, so they act like a fucking fool.
Yeah.
And then there's the issue of people who were losers in school, but then they got popular through VTubing, and so they let their head get a little too big, and they treat others like crap. They do what was done to them. So I
Or
feel like
you're
we're
like
just,
me and you're a loser in school and you're still a loser now.
Yeah, Amy.
but like I feel like now we're just stuck in this like perpetual like a routine of just people acting like we're in high school. There's cliques, there's cliche,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
groups forming,
Mhm.
and everyone just ready to expose the other, and then it's just the same cycle of people
Yeah.
venting about it, kind of like how we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't stop. It's an endless cycle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
I guess I can go next about like some of like my start.
Mhm.
I
for
would love
me-
to.
Yeah.
Okay, so like for me, as everybody knows, I'm the oldest one, both in age as well as VTubing.
Hi,
As well.
Victor.
Nechan.
So, I will say that for me personally, as I was getting into just content, I will say as a content creator, because originally I again was not a VTuber when I started out. For me, it was really just a way of having fun. I technically, okay, a little bit about me.
Yeah.
Again, I'm revealing secrets I've never told anybody.
Ooh, only here on AuRoaring Radio.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I was not fresh out of college, maybe a few years after, so like maybe at 20 years old, I was making or trying to make videos on YouTube. So I wanted to be a like content creator in some way, shape, or form. I was thinking of being a YouTuber. I remember actually sitting down and doing makeup. I even like made my hair into the Queen of Hearts, where I fucking teased
Wait, that's
it and
so
I bumped it into like a heart shape,
cool.
and I did like little makeup.
What?
It was oh my god, it was so bad. It was like a potato that I had of a camera. Yeah, it was bad. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a makeup artist because it's inspiring. It goes with the art side of me, etc. I was getting to that, and then I was like, oh, I like dabbling into hauls. So like I started. There was a local Korean market that came up into my area, and so I went there, got a whole bunch of snacks, and I was doing a video tasting it, etc.
Tasting Korean snacks as a YouTuber. Yeah.
Dude, I was trying every avenue that inspired me. So like I even tried doing like funny little what it's like being living with a Mexican family.
Oh my gosh. Wait, dude, I love that.
Yeah, I was doing so many different things. And so I knew that like when 2020 hit and everybody was at home and I saw people like being content creators, and I was so bored, I like got onto my Discord and things like that, and I started joining Discord communities, started learning what Twitch was. I myself wanted to be a content I saw a lot of artists that I follow going to Twitch, so then I started learning about Twitch, and it just went to a whole like growing into what I am today. And I will say that even though I am the oldest, the only reason why I feel like my numbers are low, which I don't care about, is because I never took it seriously. The whole content creating was because I just wanted to have fun. And it was something that I just enjoyed, that was a new interest after high school for me. Because it gave me a sense of purpose, to be completely honest with you. And when I started streaming more and more, like slowly but surely, didn't matter how many views I got, I would just sit there and talk to myself the entire time. And I would get like one, like maybe the most was like 5. And even when I got 5, I was excited. But it made me feel good when I would have somebody who came from my chat and find me on social media and be like, you really made my day to day. Like I really needed that today. And I'm like, so like, again, when it comes to like the following and all that, that definitely wasn't something that really ever came to mind. And even leading up to today, when I do like following count and I'm like, it makes it seem like I'm so into it, which people who don't know me can think whatever they want. That's totally fine by me. The reason why I do it now is because I want to push myself to be more than just what I am. I want to take myself more seriously, because I realized a new passion of mine is that I'd love to be able to make merchandise, and it'd be cute to have my cute little VTuber on shit. And so that's the only reason why I'm like, you know what, in order for me to do that, I should actually take myself more seriously, and I should actually push to get more followers. But still, at the end of the day, if I'm asking for somebody to collab with me, if I'm asking somebody to like be like a mutual, it's not because their count, it's because I just want to make friends, because it actually feels nice to make more friends who can have the same interest as me. But that's kind of just like my start and kind of like how everything started for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was so long.
No, you're fine.
Leysa, you're next.
Sorry, I find it so funny that when I look over to the side, it looks like I'm looking at Rena's boobs. I'm like...
Yeah, he wants them in your face, baby.
Hey, yo, what the... Yeah. Should I talk about my? Oh wait. Before that, but what about now, Div? How are you feeling about your content or your streams or like your journey so far until now? You feel good about it? How you feel?
To be honest, I think yes. The reason why I think I feel now a lot more in the positive is because I think now to be honest, you guys have a big effect on me in the sense that I think that having you guys around me, I started to find myself and what kind of content creator I am and want to be. And I think I found myself now because, like, again, when I talk about where I started, I tried a shitload of different avenues, and I like just felt like it wasn't me at all. And now I feel like I'm in a comfortable spot where I'm at right now. And now it's just trying to tell myself to like figure out how much do I want it, like the goals that I have for myself, how much do I want those goals to actually happen.
Agreed. Oh god, my journey is not as crazy, I would say. I didn't do that much. I do want to say, like, I think I just watched streamers a lot growing up, like throughout high school and whatnot. I used to watch like a lot of like Lily Pichu and whatnot, and I never thought about streaming, but then all of a sudden, like, people have suggested it to me because, listen, out of all my friends, I'm the one at home playing games all day, right? So, like, when I started streaming, my kind of mindset was like, hey, if I'm going to be sitting at home on my computer playing games all day, might as well be streaming while I do it, right? Right? So, basically, I ended up streaming, and as you guys know, as I mentioned earlier, I had, like, a group of guy friends I used to play games with all the time, but, like, yeah, they were just being weird. Like, Lay, you should have OnlyFans. Lay, you should just do hot tub content, just constantly. And like these like group of guy friends were like the only people that I really had around when I was streaming. So like I would just like choose to keep them there, right? But then after a while, I'm like, I do not want them. Yeah, I'm like, I do not want them there with me. So I stopped talking to them, and I was just like, yeah, they're weird, because they thought I had like an easy route up just because I was a girl, you know what I mean?
I hate when they do that shit.
But yeah. Like they would just be like, you're a girl, easy views, and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, man. And then like as soon as like I started streaming consistently around that time, because they kept telling me that shit, and I just stopped talking to them. Like they streamed as well, right? Once in a while, they just stopped streaming. Right. They just stopped streaming after I started becoming consistent, and I like basically like doubled their follows within a month. They just stopped talking. Yeah, they just instantly like never talked to me again. I'm just like, okay, well, I didn't want to talk to you guys either. You guys are weird, man. So that's when I really started to delve into just streaming solo games a lot. But around the time where I started streaming, I had a full-time job, right? I was a supervisor at a restaurant, and it was a pretty busy restaurant too. I was dying. Yeah. I would work like 12-hour shifts, like 6 days a week. And then on the one day where I didn't work that week, I would stream for 12 hours. So like I would do like a full week of shifts as a supervisor, 12 hours back to back, or like 8 hours. And then on the one day, like I think it was like either Sunday or Monday. I think it was Monday. I wouldn't work. I would just stream for 12 hours straight. Like I would get ready. Like I wouldn't even rest. The one day where I was off, I would go put on makeup, do my hair, stream for 12 hours, and then repeat, right? Yeah. But during my early times of streaming, like within the first 1 to 1.5 years, I was very on and off because of work. So like there would be times where I would like stream, and then I just wouldn't stream for like 2 months. Or like, and then I would stream again, and then I wouldn't stream for like another 5 months. And then and then my friends, and then my friends would just be like, Lay, like, why aren't you streaming? I'm like, I'm working every day, man. Like, what do you want from me? Right? And it came to the point where like I was just at that point in my job where I was just like, yeah, I think this is enough. Like, you know, like I need to move on to something else. Like I want to move on to a job where I could do it part-time while streaming as well. So I have time for both because I really enjoy streaming, right? So I ended up getting a new job. And then I don't know if you guys have ever felt this, but like where you get a job and then you're too good at it and then they give you so much more responsibilities because they're like, you're so good at your job. Here's more responsibilities for you. And you're like, fuck, I want this to be a part-time so I can stream.
That was me when I went to the store.
Yeah.
They had me cleaning one whole side building by myself while the rest of the staff cleaned the other side by them.
What the fuck?
They'll just start being lazy.
Yeah.
And I just want to get this done so I can get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I acted ditzy on purpose from the start to finish. They never promoted me. Even one time somebody was trying to promote me at a job when I was younger. And so I remember listening to one of the managers saying, I don't think we should. She's still a little too young. And the way she acts, XYZ, I'm like, heck yeah.
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 I'm not actually incompetent, but I will make you believe it.
Because you're paying me this much.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
That and like when it's quitting time, it's quitting time. If I'm not getting paid, I'm not gonna be out here trying to do more work for you.
Agreed. No, but yeah, that's basically what happened. So they gave me a bunch of responsibilities. I basically became like a manager of some sorts at this new place. And I'm like, this is not what this is not what I got. I didn't move jobs to do this. So I ended up quitting that job. And since then, I've just like, you know what? I have money. I'm just going to work on streaming for a bit until I feel like I should get another day job. So since then, I've been streaming full time, basically. I do have weeks where I would just be like, no stream this week. I'm mental health break, or like I would take a night off or stuff. So I wouldn't say I haven't really been consistent. I don't know if you guys find me consistent, but I don't find myself consistent at all.
To be honest, I think we're so not consistent that we don't know when the other one isn't.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've just been doing it. I've just been having a lot of fun with streaming. I feel like I really found my place with it. And yeah, I don't know. I've just been having a good time, I guess. Yeah. I do think like in terms of like where I feel like I'm at right now in terms of streaming, I do feel like I'm proud of my content in a way that's so vastly different from when I started. But in a way, I'm always striving to get better.
Yeah.
And like yeah, I don't know. Like in a way, I always feel like, you know, in terms of like getting milestones and stuff like that, I always feel like I don't know if this is weird to say, but like a win for Auroraelis is a win for me. You know, whenever I see you guys hit milestones or like new things, I'm just like, yeah, we winning together. We celebrate this win together. You know? Yeah. You know, like more eyes on one of us is more eyes for all of us kind of deal. You know, like one of us wins, we're all going to the top kind of deal. So, you know, whenever I see one of us like do some good shit, I guess I'm just proud in general. Like it's not just my solo wins, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
I
how
like
I've
that
been
you
feeling.
bring that up because I never thought about it like that. Like I mean, it's a great idea, and like I think like I do love like when you guys like promote like a goal of yours or you say something really proud and happy because I'm like genuinely happy for you. But I never thought about it that way. Now I am. I will.
Yeah. No, because honestly, I kind of stole that saying because I saw like, I believe it was like a corpo VTuber talk about it. It's just like, hey, when one of us hits a milestone, like one of them, our gen mates or anyone within the company hits one, it's a win for all of us. Because like that's more eyes on us, you know? And and once I started thinking of it like that, I'm like, oh my God, it's so true. So like whenever I see you guys do some cool shit or like hit some milestones, I'm like, that's a win for Auroraelis. Let's go. Yeah,
it is. I think it definitely is true though. I like that.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
So to end it off, do you guys have any tips for, you know, current VTubers, current content creators who are looking to get into the scene or like looking to improve their streams anyway? Do you guys have any tips for them?
Yes, but I'll go after Ed because they did it first.
Okay.
So my biggest tip would probably be if you have members in your community that feel like a cancer cell and that they just don't fit into your vibes, cut them out right away. Don't wait, because like for me, and if I were to think back to like a little VTuber again, because I'm still little, but I'm like a bigger fish in a smaller pond. But I had that issue of, oh, well, this person gives me a view and it helps my numbers and it helps the algorithm for me. I'll just deal with it. But what will end up happening is that cancer cell will spread. Your community will either start acting like them or they'll start leaving. So if you're uncomfortable with something, it's important to set your boundaries right then and there and get rid of people that don't fit your vibe. Because the way that you shape your community is how to end up being.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
I think like a lot of I think when people look at my Twitch channel compared to others, I have a lot of rules. And when I say a lot of rules, I mean a lot. And that's just kind of the community and the kind of vibe I'm trying to cater to, because there's a lot of weird viewers out there. And I make my rules strict because I want my community to be a certain way as well, right? So I feel like newer creators, or like creators in general, should try to be less afraid of cutting people out of the community if they're not it. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Care a little less about that number, you know, because in the long run, you don't want to build a community of those kinds of people because you keep letting them in, you know?
Yeah. I guess my tip would be being a VTuber and wanting to grow, don't always feel like you should be asking your community what they want to see. I have been in that shoe as well, where asking the community and they don't show up. It's really sad and disheartening. Do what you love to do and do what makes you happy. The people are gonna come when they see you, and you'll get new people because they're seeing that you're doing something that makes you happy, and they're like, oh, I like this guy. I like what they're doing. I like what they're putting down. So yeah, like don't feel like you have to follow what people are telling you that they want to see or what you have to do and what others are doing.
Yeah, there's a community for everything, right? There's a community for like all kinds of niches out there. So like don't feel bad for not following like the main kind of road that everyone else is following. Like doing like whatever games are like hot right now, like having the sense of humor that like all the mainstream streamers that are really big have, you know, like do your own thing. The right people, the right community will come for you. Kind of
that deal. And I guess
play the games you want. Play that play Frog Detective, man. There's a community
for the love of God, please, more people play Frog Detective for Lay.
Yeah, Frog Detective.
I do still have so another few tips is burnout is going to happen. It's understandable. Please set yourself up for a time to break. That can be in many different forms, as in like telling yourself like, maybe I don't stream this week, this month, etc. But give yourself a break from streaming. It is a lot of work. I will say that just putting on the camera, it's putting away everything that's going on the outside and what's happening in your real life, and putting on that kind of like a mask so that you're here and you're present for your people. You are for me, it is to make others feel happy to be in your space and in your community. And so it takes a lot of mental work and emotions to be able to do that. And by the time I get off of streaming, I'm exhausted, and all I want to do is just hang with my friends and fucking watch something dumb or talk about something dumb, or not even talk and just listen to them breathe. So like burnout is understandable. It happens. Please take that break. Don't feel like you need to pump out. And if you do pump out like things, again, you need to take a break. You are going to ruin yourself. But yeah, that would be another tip that I would give as well.
Yeah, I would say that like if you're looking for tips for growing or like improving your content, I would just say really know your skills and kind of play on them as much as you can. So like for example, like a lot of my skills, like all my skill points go into a lot of video editing and what do you call it? Like editing graphics and thumbnails and whatnot. So I want to say that I play into it a lot by making highlights and like shorts and all that kind of stuff, right? So like whatever strength that you have, like whether it be art or singing or like talking a lot, just play into it a lot. Just put those strengths to use.
Okay,
I feel like it
hold
gives
on.
you a good direction with your content as well. Yeah.
Your skills not just in that. Honestly, when you stream, your skill definitely lies in your chatting and how you chat. I have seen you play. Yeah, it's really weird to explain, but when I first
I'm just
saw
an editor.
you, you just got that energy. When I first saw you, and I started watching your streams, and this is before we like really like could say we were friends. The way you played certain games, which are the games where you have to read a lot, I noticed that whenever I play them, I wasn't getting the views. However, I wasn't giving off the energy that you give. The way, this vibe that you give, it's something that I just can't explain. And it's so like, I don't know, it's very, it kind of puts me in a trance in a way, because it makes me want to stick around, and I just want to chat with you while you're cooking up some coffee for the characters. Like, there's just a way about you, and that is a skill I think that is very hard to kind of grasp, but that you have. In my opinion, like, you make people want to stick around and stay as far as chatting. And don't say that me and Ebby don't. We have people who stay, but I have people who lurk more than chat. And I'm like, that's fine. That's cool, because I fucking rant too much. So let me do all the talking, because I can't shut up. But you just have this way that people want to keep talking and chatting until you end stream, and that's a skill that you have. So I'm just saying, ask a brother and I'll tell you.
Thank you. I think I try my best with game commentary. I would say that if anything else besides editing, game commentary would be another one of my skills. But yeah.
True.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, like bouncing off that point about game commentary, just knowing the kind of content you want to make and the direction you want to take with your content is like a really big thing too. I feel like I didn't really figure that out until like a long time down the road, like what I really want to do. I just did whatever I wanted. I mean, I still do now, but like I know the direction of where I'm going with it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's like kind of like stepping back, sitting down, and like kind of thinking about your content in that sort of aspect really helps in the long run. It really makes you feel like more solidified with your content, more confident in it, because you're like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely something that you should think about if you are a streamer or content creator. Just thinking about like where you want to go with it, kind of deal. Self-reflection, baby. Yeah. All right. Any other points do you guys want to add on? Any other tips?
I guess last thing, be confident. Like I think I always say, love what you do. When it comes to finding your friends, find people that you feel match your energy and your vibe, and know that your friends don't always have to be in the same skill set or topic as what you do. I think all three of us are very different.
Find people who match your freak.
Yeah, and who genuinely you feel like can accept you for you. I think is also very key. So, and that's just for those of you that feel like when you are VTubing, you feel like you need a group or a community in order to really thrive. That's totally fine. So just know that like your people are probably not even in the same category of streaming as what you are, and that's okay. Yeah. Also, these freaks are flirting with each other.
That's true.
Why don't you lean on me once in a while? I'm just kidding.
I have been.
I know. I saw you.
Yeah.
Putting the drinks on everyone's shoulder.
Oh, God. But again, if you guys enjoyed this content and you want to see more of us, please like, share, and subscribe. And comment down below what was a tip that you felt was really needed today that was helpful that you learned on based off of what we are talking about. It really does help us if you do make those comments, and we do read them, so don't even worry. So yeah, again, have a wonderful day, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, I love what Div said. Just comment what you guys have been thinking about, like the things that we've been talking about, any tips that you guys found really useful that we mentioned, anything about our experience or maybe your experience as well if you are a content creator. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I'm moving, I swear.